My name is Tabitha Collins, and I worked with Kiki in May of 2022. So I knew Kiki from networking, and so I already kind of had her in my back pocket there from that, and knew she was a great realtor. So knew that if I was going to be looking for a place, that I was going to use her already, and so I did. So I was a first-time home buyer. I had got out of the military, moved to Denver, and so kind of looking for a place to settle and everything. Moved around Denver a little bit, so trying to figure out where I want to live. But I was living in a condo that somebody else had owned, so I was paying her mortgage basically. And when she wanted to move back in and I needed to move out, I decided it was time to go ahead and go for it. And so went to Kiki and, gave it a go. I was nervous about a little bit of all of it, I guess just the process in general, but kind of the pre-approval, dealing with all the paperwork and doing all of that, because I knew it was going to be a lot. But other than that, I was pretty excited just to kind of have my own place. She was able to accommodate the fact that I was a single person with limited funds and only needing limited space for just me and my cats. And so I didn't need like a whole lot of space. I didn't have a whole lot of extra funding. But I also was operating with VA loan kind of thing. So didn't have a down payment and all of that too. So, and kind of dealing with like into COVID time, like all of that kind of jazz. It was chaotic. I was looking for more of the condo townhouse kind of, my pricing was limited. My extra funds, because I was operating with the VA loan, so I didn't have to have a closing or a down payment. But again, with the appraisal gap and having that, so I did have to have those kind of funds, which ended up being more than I thought. So like having kind of my limits with that, I guess, is more so of what it would be. It was limited inventory, basically, I guess what it comes down to. So I had that to work with, and she definitely found that. And like, I wanted like a third, I didn't want to be under people, like that kind of thing. And she did really great with like finding what I needed for just me and my cats. And with the things that I did want and needed for being just me and my funds. So yeah, it was great. From start to finish with her process, she was very informative. First thing, her whole little book was start to finish with the process. Very transparent about the chaotic times, the quiet times, and then about also like shopping for a different realtor if you wanted to, but of course I didn't want to because she's the best. So it was just very comforting kind of knowing that, she knows so much and like was just very informative about it all. So being in the sex positive community, and it was real important to me to kind of like stay within the community too. And like, I really like to support our local businesses and that kind of thing too. So it was perfect. And then obviously being involved in her networking group and everything too. So it all kind of works out perfectly anyway. And the fact that she's a really good friend of mine, obviously, like it all just worked out perfectly. And, so get to shop around houses with my friends. So it all works out. It's perfect. With finding the right kind of property, she would send me some over the computer, an email, maybe through text. It's been a little while now. And then I would be like, oh yeah, these look good. Let's look at these ones, these specific ones, and would line them up and have a whole day of kind of going through a bunch of them. And then would sometimes go to dinner afterwards. And till we decided on putting in some offers, and sometimes they get taken, sometimes they wouldn't. But yeah, so it was a pretty easy process. I would do it. Well, I will do it again eventually. If she was right here in front of me, I would definitely give her a hug. And a million times over. And I would tell her, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would definitely recommend Kiki, especially in the community, for any kind of need, because she's just amazing. And she has no judgment about any kind of need. Want a dungeon? Let's do it. Even better. She's just great, and she'll go get what you need. She'll look for it. If she can't find it, she'll find somebody that will,